What? I've been quiet this entire time? What? I'm sorry, I don't know why I was muted. I don't know why I was muted. Sorry. Point is, this game has been in stasis, unfortunately, because well, I'm running into a problem. Look at that. See how it just flies off into the ether? My world rotations don't work correctly. And also, what is so annoying is shading. Shading is the worst goddamn thing that has ever happened to man. Because I want to make a volumetric shader. Okay, let me see if I can explain to y'all what is going on. So right now, here, let's just fill the black. Okay, and let's use green. Okay, what I want to do is I want to have a wireframe box like this. Okay? And the goal, purely academic essentially, is I want to do this all in a shader. I don't want to do this with any models, because what I probably should do is I probably should make this is gonna be this edge is gonna be a rectangular prism. This is gonna be rectangular prism. This is prism, right? And then it's just easy. You just shade those. But I don't want to do that. I want to have a straight up. I just want to have a straight up white box. Okay, yeah. What I want to have is a straight up white box cube. And then what the game engine does is it then converts it to a long and distorted box. It draws it as a long and distorted box, but also wireframe. And it does this by drawing, it's supposed to work by drawing the back face first, and then each face after that. Right? That's how it's supposed to work. But then I want to take this and I want to have a shader where it has a core on the wireframe. Okay. I want to have a core on the wireframe. But then I also want to have a glowy edge, so to make it really pop, to make it look like it's glowing through the fog. Okay, stuff like that. But remember, this is all on a flat box. How do you render a 3D view? How do I render? Essentially, what I want is a glowing cylinder. I want a glowing cylinder. This is like an edge, right? A cutout of the edge. How do I render this onto a flat box? What actually ends up happening is you have to then, what you have to do is you have to find how, per pixel, say I want to draw this pixel, per pixel, you want to see how far away is this pixel from this edge, and then using math, draw that pixel with, the correct intensity. Okay? And if you do it just right, if you pass in the camera's angle as well as the angle of the box you're rendering, you can then project your cylinder onto the flat box, so it then looks like you're rendering tubes. But that's insane. That is absolutely nuts. So I'm not doing any of that BS. Okay, right now I'm not. So instead, what I'm doing is I am taking. Let's say. So here's the face. Here's a face that I'm rendering, right? Okay, I'm rendering this face. What I do is for each pixel in this face, okay, each pixel in the face, I see how far am I from the edge, and if I'm too far away, like say I'm like up in here, well, I don't draw anything. But say I'm this far away, I then draw it green. So I eventually actually have a bunch of green pixels all around. Okay? And then based upon some more math, if it's a little bit further away, they're a bit lighter in color. Okay? But then what you're noticing is we're having roundness in the corners. And then if you can imagine, say this is a box, you get really funky projections like this. So you're not rendering tubes anymore, but you're rendering like stickers. You're rendering stickers like on a Rubik's Cube. But I don't want to. Right now, the shading is completely secondary. I just want to get the rotation fixed. So let's do that. Let me just pull up. Okay. Let's go to level events. Level events.c. Thanks, study yourself. Yeah, it's complex, but it's self-imposed, right? It's completely self-imposed. Right, and the other thing I need to do is I need to do collision detection, correct? What I'm doing right now is if I have a box here like this, and the player like runs into the box, it checks the X, the Y, and the Z, which is all good, right? It's all good as long as I'm going in that direction. But say right in my player is also in this same just pretend my player's in that. Oh my god. As long as my player is in the same orientation as the object I'm hitting, this is fine. But say I'm gonna hit like an off-kilter wall, right? Or something like this. I'm gonna hit this wall or something. Oh my god, okay. And I'm coming at a glancing blow here. And I'm going point first. Okay. This sort of interaction, it will actually clip. It will clip through like this, and it just will not work. So I need to change it to something called OOB. I'm doing AABB. So I need to change the collision. But that's for a later date. I don't expect, the way I'm planning this game out in my head is I don't expect you to ever hit a wall or anything at an angle like that, but it's good. It's good practice. Camera spin, world spin. Okay, let's just try. Let's just try fixing this. Why is split view not working? Okay, so world spin. We'll make the pointer world spin. Spin equals GS. Right, and then of course we gotta do that as a pointer. World spin. Okay, we'll see. You know what? I'm so sorry about my sneezing. I'm kind of sick lately. Okay. And if spin is active, turn. Oh my gosh. And then, so basically, you just gotta make sure that the world spinning is spinning. Then spin. Time elapsed plus equals dt. Okay, float, rotation, angle. Right. Okay, if spin time elapsed greater than or equal to spin duration spin is active equals false, right? And then rotation angle equals spin target angle. The reason I'm doing this is because the problem, as someone in garden videos, do you love to plants? Do you plant plants? Yeah, so yourself. I love gardening. Particularly gardening for food. I have a bunch of, this year I did garden again, but it wasn't as big. And the year was a little harder than the previous year. So it wasn't as lush. But actually this weekend I'm going to dig up the sweet potatoes. And thank you for reminding me. I should probably make a video about that too. See how many, if any, sweet potatoes got picked. Oh, I also have picked 10 pounds of beans. 10 pounds of bush beans from 2 packets of seed. And if I planted them at the right time and kept up on the watering, I probably could have picked around 15 pounds. I think in March I'm going to plant some peas, and I'm going to try to do a cover crop of peas from where I planted the sweet potatoes, so I can reinvigorate the ground there a little bit. I'm sorry, my OBS chat is over here on my drawing tablet. So anyway, the rotation angle is going to snap to the target angle because basically when you finish or you got to jump out of the rotation, if you didn't do that final bit of rotation, the world would be left just tilted just a little bit, and it's annoying as hell, and it's not what you want. Can't spell tonight. Okay. So we have handled the rotation angle, what where we're rotating to. But now we gotta fix the code that actually rotates everything. Okay, for sorry, yourself. Rotation matrix. You know what? There, I'm putting you up here so I can actually see you here. Thank you. Okay, rotation matrix. And then GLM rotate. Rotation matrix. Rotation angle spin axis. Spin axis. Very interesting. Effect 3 axis. Copy. I do copy into the spin axis. Okay, cool. Just gonna make sure. You never know, especially when you've been away for a bit. Then, so basically I've created a rotation matrix. Now we gotta populate it. So map 4 to origin matrix from origin matrix vec3 negative pivot. So the problem what I think I was having was the difference between rotating the object around its own center versus rotating it around the world center. So I want the entire game to pivot around like the player's position, right? When I trigger the trigger world spin, right? And it wasn't. It was rotating around the world origin. The global origin, sorry, right? The global origin. OpenGL space is just trash. So the trigger, it stores the pivot, but I never used it in the update world spin, so of course that would make sense. It came at correct false point. Some notes I took before. And so then, yeah, make sure that the camera actually follows the player because the camera should never, ever leave the player. Translate the world, rotate the world. So we got to translate and then rotate. translate the entire world so that the pivot point moves with the origin. Yes, because when you remember, when you rotate, you actually rotate at 0, 0, 0, no matter what. It's up to you to move where 0, 0, 0 is. And then you gotta translate it back to the original amount. So I translate it, rotate, and then translate back, and then draw. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, be sure to watch one of my old OpenGL videos on how OpenGL works. It has a little Minecraft Steve in it. How does Minecraft Steve go around the world? And in fact, it's more correct than I originally thought, because turns out Minecraft up until 1.16.4, not 1.6.4, but 1.16.4 uses OpenGL 2.1. What? It uses OpenGL 2.1 even for all those shaders and stuff, like not even that long ago? Yeah, well now it uses OpenGL 4 or something, but it's still, up until 1.16.4, it used OpenGL 2.1, which is programmable on the Pi. Okay. Anyway, GLM vec3 negate 2. Spin pivot neg pivot. So basically, you're copying the negation matrix. GLM translate make to origin matrix, okay, and then neg pivot, okay, translate that to the to origin matrix. GLM translate make from origin matrix spin pivot. Cool. Now study yourself if you're still watching. What are you up to? You got any good projects going on? And I'm at 4. GLM at 4. Now we gotta combine the matrices together from origin matrix, rotation matrix, pivot, oh, what? Then pivot. Update it again. And then we gotta apply them to the world's rotation. Jaffa Cordero. What are you making? I am making a 3D game in C, pure C. Not doing C++ or any other funky business. In C, and I'm trying to make it with object-oriented programming in mind. At least parts of object-oriented programming in mind. I don't know if you've been around the programming scene a little bit, but turns out object-oriented programming isn't as good as everyone thought. Or coding paradigms have shifted a bit in this space, and some of object-oriented is good, and some of procedural is good. So, mix and match. I'm trying to do both. And anyway, I'm just trying to make this game, and it's sort of a practice for C but also a game. I want to put this on Steam by Christmas. This is a 3 version of Geometry Dash, kind of. You'll see what I mean. If I can get this to work. I got one more line of code here. Excuse me. Cheerwine. This is a Holiday Punch Cheerwine. It's pretty good. This was really good. It's like pineapple and ginger ale in it too. So we gotta go for the start. Thanks, Jaffet. And then GS. What GES? World orientation. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, we're building. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, it did something. It did something. Let's try that again. So basically, okay, I want it to rotate, but that's still down. Okay. Sorry. Well. Yes, so basically, gravity left works. Spin the world 90 degrees around the y-axis. So it takes 32 seconds to spin. This is most interesting. Why? So basically, trigger world spin. Game state, float degrees, duration. Am I just not doing this correctly? Obviously I'm not doing it correctly, but why is this not... Okay, so it's a spin. That's... Let's take out this world state change. So the only thing it needs to do is switch gravity and then spin. Okay, it switched gravity and now it needs to just spin. Why is it going more than 90 degrees? Okay, world spin, world spin. What the hell am I doing wrong? It's the current angle. Target angle. Wait. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this needed? Let's try this again. Okay. That's wild. That is more close to what the original behavior was. Okay, so I think the problem here is my fundamental misunderstanding of what I want my code to do and what it's actually doing. I mean, like, damn, give me a medal, please. Everybody, give me a medal. Where is it? I can't even find it. Retard alert. Retard alert. Okay. Okay. Let's see what the AI says it suggests I should do. Renderer and, okay, let's see. Be aware that this change how the player moves to the level after the spin. Before the spin is z greater than negative 40. Okay. The player moves along the negative z axis. Yes, it's going into the screen. During the spin, the world rotates 90 degrees around the y axis. Whoop. After the spin, z is less than negative 40. The player's forward speed is still applied to the world's original direction. Because the world is rotated this direction at points along the world's positive z-axis, the player will start moving sideways from the camera's perspective. So that the player will always move through the move into the screen on the I want this to be okay. That actually explains a whole bunch of stuff. Because if basically, look, I am going through the game, and when it rotates, well, the player always goes that direction. Okay. Sorry for the silence here. I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. My God, guys. Okay. Trigger world spin needs to be redone. Update world spin, but also my camera, I think, needs to be redone too. This is a real problem. Fucking overhauls. So, Moles Muhammad, this is the game I'm working on. It is a sort of 3D version of Geometry Dash. But the gimmick here is the gravity can flip, and then the world can also rotate around you. And then I'll have it so that the camera can also rotate around you too, and it can be all it's all scripted. It can all be scripted. You can have music with it. The shaders will be better, stuff like this. And yeah, let me actually see if I can't pull up. Why can't I pull it up? I could have sworn. There we go. This is the this is Cyclone from when I like first wrote it. It works a little better. But the problem was it was too trash. The code was too trash to expand upon. So this is kind of the features I want to. Oh my god, it's like flipped now. Oh, no. Okay, let's try this again. I gotta get this. But this is what I want to build, and I want to make this nice enough so that I can put it on Steam for you guys. Wow. You think the guy who wrote this game could play it? Oh my god. I'm gonna get this. I think with music and maybe some sound effects, this will be perfect. Made it. So that's what I'm trying to build. Only better with a, obviously with a menu and all that stuff, Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's solve this. Also, it's getting warm. Yeah, Bergman C. Okay. Oh my gosh. So let's do a game state. Okay. Ugh. And the game state struct. We got world orientation, camera spin, but we also need a camera position. And then the main game loop. So we go to game init. Okay. And we'll do static void, right? Because static makes it local, kind of. Game init. Yeah. So let's do this. Okay, then game update. So in the switch statement, we now need to pass the game state to the update state play. And then basically what I gotta do now is refactor the physics. I really should just pass everything as game state instead of object. The problem is, I think for the player and stuff, I should replace it with game state, but like, such a problem. Okay. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to take all of this. Delete. Look at that. It's done. Object. I'll make a pointer to a player. Equals. Yes. Look at that. Wasn't that easy? Okay. Define up. So basically, up is going to be is going to be the player, but always up. And now forward. Okay. Now we got to project the view direction matrix vector onto the plane defined by the up. So if I'm up, you got to make sure it's always up. Okay, then gotta handle the edge case where the camera is directly above the player. After normalize forward vector, cross product this time, because the right hand rule and all that BS. You gotta normalize it. So then I got to do essentially what I did before, but I use the different base vectors. 3. Fizz. Forward speed. Desired horizontal velocity. That makes pretty enough sense, right? And then there we go. That's more like it. guy. Action. I think here. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, let's try this. So basically what I need to do here is glm vec3 copy s game state camera position. Got to copy the camera position out. So basically I got to copy into the camera. Now I got to make a lookup vector. So basically the lookat position is going to be where the player is, the center of the player. And now, vec3 up. Zero F, yep, 0.0 F. Now, glm mat4 mul v3 s game state world orientation up vector 0.0 F up vector spin the pointer here. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's try that again. Hmm. Why is it falling down? Hmm. I'm gonna have to go to bed soon. Well, I'm going to have to head to bed, unfortunately. I'll continue on a little bit more, and then, yeah, I'll keep working on this. I'll see if I can get these bugs solved. Well, it was good. I'll see you later.